Hey there, welcome back to my channel, and it's TGIF. Today, what we are going to do today is I get a lot of questions on stamping, and I figured I would do a Stamping Nails 101. Now this is just a basic how-to stamp. Okay, so for stamping, I got a whole list of stuff. I'll type it and I'll put everything down below, so if you got any questions, there's a big reference down below. But okay, so first off, supplies that you will need to stamp. First off, you'll need a stamper. I've got a lot. I'll go through everything individually, but first off, you do need a stamper. You'll also need some sort of scraper. You will need either a lint roller. I got my beautiful unicorn one, or just a regular one that I got like from the dollar store. You'll also need Scotch tape, or lint roller, or Scotch tape. And then you'll need a cotton cloth or something similar, which this is a cotton cloth. And you will need 100% acetone. 100% acetone. You'll need a stamping plate. So this is the one I have at the moment. You'll also need stamping polish. So depending, whatever type of stamping polish. Liquid latex, that is optional. And then a sticky base coat, and that is optional as well. Okay, so let's break it down. First thing, stampers. There's so many, like I got a basket full of stampers. There's so many designs out there. The most popular are the clear ones. So this is my Maniology. I think this is the monocle stamper. You can get those. This one's from like Pretty. Sorry. This type. This one was, I think, this one actually. This one was my very first stamper. As you can see, it's now red. It's been stained. This was my very first stamper that I was able to get to work. Because originally, when I started stamping, they had these things that were hard as rocks. Or, I don't know if you remember these. These are garbage. I don't even know why I kept them. I just kind of kept them for nostalgia reasons, really. So yeah, they're hard as a rock. And you couldn't see where you're placing. So if you had the image and you're trying to fit it on, yeah, pain in the butt. So, or you can get these pretty ones that, you know, they're layered. Here's my Hit the Bottle one that I got from Lantern and Wren. Oh, you can get these like marshmallowy ones. So it doesn't really matter. These ones are good for enlarging and shrinking images, but we'll get that into that on another day. Personally, I like the clear images. One thing, you do not need to prime your stamper per se. So do not ever, never, ever, ever, ever take a file to one of your clear stampers. Like, don't file it, because you just ruin it. So there's no point, because you make it cloudy and you won't be able to see through it. So there's no point. So you can wash your stamper, like when you get it, get some soap and water, take it out, wash it, and then just leave it on a piece of paper to dry. Or you can also use an alcohol wipe, like a lint-free wipe with some alcohol. You can do that. If you're still having problems with your image it if it's not picking it up. You can try, what you can do is take the stamper head out, get a piece of paper and sit it on, let it sit overnight, and it'll draw out whatever little oils that are in there. So do not ever file your stamper. Okay, so to clean off your stamper between images, use the lint roller. Just roll it against it. That's how you clean it. Okay, so now on to stamper or scrapers. There's so many out there, and it's going to be personal preference. You can, I mean, this is my go-to one. It's firm, but it still bends, and it's thick. You can use an old gift card, you know, an old gift card, you know, whatever. These ones I find are too flexible, and I don't know, I don't like them. You can get small ones. You can get these little guys. I think Born Pretty's got the tiny ones. So whatever you feel comfortable with in your hand. When you're scraping, you do not want to push down hard and scrape. Like you're not, because what you're doing is basically you're just evening out the polish, so the polish fills all the image. So you kind of go at a 45-degree angle. Let's see if I can show you how to do this. So you kind of push it down and you spread it. So 45-degree angle, go lightly, softly over the image. You don't want to take all the polish off, because then you ruin the point. So 45-degree angle, and just go slow and steady. Now, if you have big open images sometimes, or if it's on a corner, you don't always have to go down. You can go side to side. You can go triangle. I find if you've got an intricate pattern, I generally try and only do one pass. I'll do one. That's it. But if I got a weird, tricky image, I might go once and then twice, just to go on an angle, like if you've got a bunch of lines or it's big and it's open. If you've got a big open image, you got to remember to go super slow and steady and not take all the polish out of the image. So, now with your stamp, or when your stamping plates come, they have a blue image. Once in a while, some of the companies will have a white or a clear image. I haven't come across that. Majority of the time is the blue image, or acrylic plates. Sometimes they won't have anything on it. Hang on one second. Okay, I was going to try and show you one of the acrylic plates, and I can't find it. It's pissing me off. Hang on one second. Okay, found them. These are the plates. So this one actually came with a clear backing on it. This one didn't. These ones I find are really hard to see the image, especially when you're putting it on a white paper towel. So I've only got two, just because I wanted to try them, but they're okay, but I do find them hard to see the image. Okay, so that's your stamping plates. Now, stamping polish. You are best to get stamping polishes, to be honest. There is a slight difference. Majority of the ones I have are Born Pretty and Maniology. I do have a couple Queen ones. Oh, and I have a couple Pin Pay. I don't know what. I find these ones aren't as pigmented as like the Maniology. You can use some of the Flexihand Insta Dries. They are more pigmented. So just try them out. Some, you know, I find Sally Hansen is the best because they are more pigmented than, like, say, I don't know, China Glaze, for example. China Glaze doesn't really stamp, but the Sally Hansen Insta-Dries are. I do use a lot of the Sally Hansen Insta-Dry when I reverse stamp, because I like the fact that they are pigmented and they are fast dry, so they dry faster for me. So 9 times out of 10 I will reach for one of my Insta-Dries to do reverse stamping, for the fact it dries fast and it's highly pigmented and it just kind of pops for me. So you can use regular polish. It's not totally recommended because they're not as pigmented, and the stamping polishes seem to dry slightly slower than a regular polish, so it'll give you a little bit more leeway and forgiveness. So it is recommended to use a stamping polish, but there isn't the exceptions. Okay. Metallic polishes work well as well. I was going to mention that some of the clean colors I found will stamp quite nicely. Okay, so work quickly, because what you're doing is you're taking the polish off the plate. Don't dawdle, you know, take your time, unless the only way, because it won't transfer onto your nail if you wait too long. The only way it'll transfer is if you have a sticky base on your nail. Don't use it near a fan or an air conditioner, or if it, you know, like if your room's too hot, too cold, that will affect your stamping as well. Now, when say you're stamping and you want to take an image off, let's see, okay, let's try some stamping. Let's move stuff out of the way. Let's go here. So this is the mani I did, and that's the image that I used. So it's a CJS H17. So see, let's do this guy, for example. And I just kind of roll like it's light. Use light pressure. Don't push it down, just light. Let the stamper just roll against the plate. Okay, so say I have all these images. I don't know if you can see them, and I want to take some of it off. I get a piece of tape, you know, a piece of Scotch tape, and I'll go through and take off the images I don't want. You can do it that way. The other way you can do it is grab your lint roller, and you can go in and pick up the images you don't want. Once you're finished, so you've stamped it on your nail and you want to clean this off, get your lint roller and clean it off. Do not put acetone on your stamper. You will ruin it. I have ruined lots. Like for example, the ones that have the bottom, I got acetone on this. So now I can't see through it, so I've designated it to my glitter. So I will use this for glitter and from chrome polishes, that kind of thing. Because I can't really see through it, it's gone all cloudy. So don't throw away your old stamper. You can still use it. Or with water decals. Works great for water decals when you're doing it. I use the stamper and I just put the water decal, I pick up the water decal and then put it on. So don't throw away your old stampers, you can still use them. I just label them and then I use them for other purposes other than stamping. Okay, So no acetone on your stamper. On your stamping plate, you do want to use acetone. So I got my cotton, my acetone, and my cotton claw. Now with your cotton claw, you can buy one of these. You can buy them off of, I know, Maniology, AliExpress. There's different versions. I know some girls use clothespins, you know, like anything that will pinch the cotton ball or cotton pad, whatever you're using, whatever you can, just to use it. So be creative if you don't want to buy, you know, cotton claw. So clean off your image with the acetone. I wait a minute and let the acetone dry, and then I go on to stamping. Now, I don't know if you can see that I have a film there. If the film bothers you, take a piece of paper towel or whatever and buff it up. It takes it off. Easy peasy. Oh, I did want to mention for scrapers. Sometimes, I know I gotten a few of these guys. I don't use these anymore, haven't for ages. But some of them come with a metal edge. Do not use these. Throw this away. It's useless. Because what you're doing, it's got a metal edge. What does metal and metal do? It scrapes. So you'll get nicks and gouges in your stamping plate. So do not use a metal scraper. Throw it away. I've just kept it because I'm telling you about it. Okay, so let's do another image. So let's do the hearts. And where's my scraper? So 45-degree angle. Lightly roll your stamper. Pick up your image. Now, what I do is I place it down, and then I slightly go to the left and then to the right, or, you know, and then it puts the image on. Sometimes when you have lines, for example, lines are tricky. I even mess up lines all the time. Let's find another stamper. It's not dirty. So basically, I just kind of put it down and I don't move it. I do slight and slight. Because if you, hopefully, because if you mash it down hard, you're going to make your lines all wonky. So I just kind of go straight down and let it sit for a minute, and then I go slightly, because my nails are curved, so I'll go slightly to the right and slightly to the left, and that way I can put the image without it distorting. Now, you see I didn't use latex. You don't have to use latex. Sometimes, depending on the polish, it is recommended because it's a pain in the butt taking it off. What I like to do is I get a piece of tape and I pick it up off my skin. Saves cleanup. It actually really helps. I find, especially if the polish is very pigmented, if you get the acetone on it, on your skin, it's harder to take off. So I always do the tape trick on my nails to begin with. Okay, so I think I've kind of covered the basics. So just to kind of do an overview, do not use acetone on your stamper, only use a lint roller. Do not buff your stamper, wash it, alcohol, or leave it on a piece of paper overnight. Clean your stamping plates with 100% acetone. If the stain bugs you, buff it off with a piece of paper towel. It gets it off. When you're picking up, when you're scraping, 45-degree angle. Go light, go gentle. When you're going against, just lightly let the stamper use the stamper's weight. And I think that is it for now. If you do have more questions, leave them down below. And the next one I'm going to do is reverse stamping. Some tips and tricks for reverse stamping. And if there's anything else that you want to see about stamping, let me know, and I will do a whole series of stamping for you if you want. But my next one is going to be reverse stamping, and then I'm also going to do layered stamping, because layered stamping is the big thing as well. Okay, so I hope this kind of helped and gave you some little answers and stuff, and I hope it steps up your game. Because honestly, when I started stamping, when I first started, I actually gave up. Like, it was hard. I was just, it just sucked. And then I actually won a giveaway, and I got this stamper, and I got a uber chic plate given to me on a giveaway, and then I kept trying and kept trying, and I'm so glad I did, because I love stamping now, as you guys know. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. So it just takes practice, and you'll get it. Yeah, and if you have questions, let me know. I will do my best to help you out. And yeah, stay tuned for my next series. It'll be reverse stamping, and then after that we'll do layered stamping, and then whatever else you guys want. Okay, so thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this has helped, and remember, be someone's sparkle. Okay, bye.